most of the narratives are fake, and the only one that holds up is it probably came from a laboratory.
Let's go. Hello, free citizens. This is John Strand bringing you Frontline Flash on location here at CPAC in Washington, D.C. And joining us now on the Flash is Joshua Philipp from the Epoch Times.
Hey, always a pleasure being here with you.
It's always a pleasure to have you, Joshua. So you were just mentioning to me the recent news about OG coronavirus was manufactured in a lab in Wuhan. What a shock.
Yeah, who knew? Who knew?
Who could have predicted that?
Yeah, well, and I'm kind of here talking to people about it because 3 years ago, actually, here at CPAC, I did some of the interviews for the documentary I made looking into the origin of it. You know, where we talked about that. We showed all the evidence, and the evidence suggests, when you take everything together, that most of the narratives are fake, and the only one that holds up is it probably came from a laboratory. You know what I mean? And I think right now we basically played. You ever play that game Guess Who when you were a kid, where you get the faces and you put them down, and then there's like a couple left? We've done that with COVID origins. Every single possibility of where it came from has now been laid down. The only one still up is lab leak. That's the only one that they haven't disproven.
And all of these fake narratives, right? The little pop-up game, everything that pops up is Russia.
Well, that too, yeah. The Russia one.
So all of these narratives are, predictably silly and untrustworthy. So as a reporter for a reputable news source, what are you doing and what are you telling people in terms of encouraging them to wise up to the fake news? How can we better navigate the landscape of so much dishonest information?
Well, I would say right now we're almost in like a transition period when it comes to information.
Right.
This is the reality of it. 2016, you had a lot of independent YouTubers and so on, and people on Twitter really coming up, making a name for themselves, and they really overtook a lot of the legacy news outlets. They became the main voices. You had like little YouTubers getting more views than like CNN. You know what I mean? The left freaked out. They began a huge censorship push. They deplatformed a ton of people. Some of them stayed, some of them did not stay. Some of them built their own platforms. Some of them, kind of, whitewashed themselves a little bit and became, more like just, sterilized versions of what they were before. But I think there's been kind of a rebranding of all that, and I think the whole information system is rediscovering its footing right now. And I do believe that, in the interim, you're probably going to get a lot of confusion and things are going to be, you're not going to know who to turn to or what's reliable and what's not. But I think you'll start seeing the people who do have a real solid footing in facts start to be the ones who, are standing at the end of the day, let's just call it.
Yeah. If nothing else, it seems that for a long time people have been, frog in the pot, slow boiled into just checking out or relying on someone else to tell them what to think, how to think. And really, if we could get people to wake up and realize that we should be thinking for ourselves, that would make a pretty big difference.
COVID was a big wake-up call, too, because people are seeing, not everybody sees it, but a lot of them do, where they say, oh, you told me that there was no human-to-human transmission. There was. Oh, you told me the vaccines are 100% safe. 100% effective. No, they aren't.
Yeah.
And you have New York Times said, you told me the virus didn't come from a laboratory, and it was a groundless conspiracy theory. New York Times now is admitting it. Christopher Wray, the FBI director, is now stating it. You know what I mean? It's things like this, these tiny moments where the people say, wait, everything you told me for the past 3-4 years was a lie. And it's little moments like that.
Yeah. Last year's conspiracy theory is today's New York Times headline.
There you go. Or today's New York Times headline is tomorrow's conspiracy theory.
Yeah. No, that's exactly where it's going. Yeah. What a mess. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the real story of right now continues here on Frontline Flash, and it's coming soon, straight to you. Thank you.